Hello and welcome back, and today we're going to continue our look at the mobile applications from Asustor. Now this will now be my fourth video on the Asustor application so far. I've done AI data, AI photo, AI music. All three of these had different target means, and the idea is to give you an application that lets you interact with your NAS in the way that you need at that time. So if you want simple file folder management, AI data. If you want to look through your photos, go to AI photo. If you want to enjoy your music, go to AI music, so on and so forth. Today I'm going to look at AI video, because the growing trend towards people enjoying video, home movies, box sets, their own recordings, anything they want on a NAS is incredibly popular. And with big third-party applications like Plex Media Server out there, the need for a NAS brand to produce their own reliable and indeed snazzy, what a cool word, their own impressive first-party video application, for some isn't very important, but for others it's incredibly important. It could be the make or break reason why they buy a NAS from Asustor, QNAP, Synology or more. So today we're going to focus on AI video, and this gives us the ability to do a number of things with not just media on our NAS but on our local device as well. Today we're using a Pixel 2 XL, and as you may already tell from the top of the screen, I'm going to go to the top left there, we are not going to be utilising the internet today. All interaction between my mobile phone and this NAS are all going to be conducted over the network, not the internet. And that's because a number of you buy a NAS for this precise reason. You want security of a private cloud, and you don't enable internet access because you don't want anyone from the outside getting in one way or the other. That's why I've made the choice that all of these mobile apps will be done with no internet access. Plus, it limits notifications and pop-ups on screen, which are a right old nightmare. So, I've already added the NAS using this application. Now, AI Videos is available, this app, from both iOS and Android. And if you want to add a NAS to this device, you click the plus symbol. You either add your cloud ID, which is the internet ID you assign your Asustor NAS when you first set it up, so you can access the NAS anywhere in the world. Add the IP on the local area network to add the NAS that way, which is what I've done, or auto discovery, which will scan your local area network for the NAS and let you add it. Every time you'll of course need a username and a password. So let's make our way in, and we'll go into our Nimbustor 4 NAS. Now this NAS, I've added a series of different kinds of multimedia files. I've added movies, TV shows, stock old retro footage, as you can see on screen, and some old screen recordings. It's found a bunch of stuff inside, and this is the one folder called Movies. Now this has got some of the retro footage already installed inside, and I've made a point of putting some of these files in different locations. So it's already managed to catalogue these video files with lots of different things. So it already lets you sequence them by different actors, different genres, year of release, quality and more. And I do think although there is a modicum of intelligence behind it, you're not going to get things like the metadata scraping that's on offer from the likes of Plex. For those that aren't aware, metadata scraping is when paired with online resources such as IMDb, the system is able to get loads of background information, trailers, cast lists, and information and ratings and reviews on media on your NAS. Unfortunately, although Plex Media Server is available for the Nimbustor 4 and it runs exceptionally well, as you'll see in the video very soon, it's worth highlighting that their own app doesn't have these features and functionality. Now on the left, we've got all of these directories. Now, in advance, I've already added a few folders and where to index on this device. Now, for those that don't know, indexing is when you tell a NAS to search, or it does it automatically, an area of the storage, a folder or a volume, and it will scan all the files in that volume, and then it will add all the video files to the folder you choose. So in the case of TV shows, I've got a couple of episodes of TV inside this NAS, which is what it's got here. And these are video files that I've stuck inside a folder on the NAS called TV shows, and then within the desktop, made the NAS search and add these files to those directories. Now, this is something that can only be done on the desktop. Options for actually changing the indexing location don't seem to be quite as prevalent as what we're looking at here on the app as they are on the desktop using Chrome and that user interface. So say TV shows, we can add a new library. There's a lot of the bells and whistles missing, but this is one of the few apps for mobile and a NAS that I've seen that lets you add libraries to indexed libraries from the app. Very few of them give you this option, so I'll definitely give the Asustor app credit for that one, that it allows you to change the folders on the mobile app that affect these sorts of things. But what you may have already noticed as well is it's not as responsive as some of the other mobile apps that we've used for video in the past. There's loads of options here for converting tasks, as well as doing offline transcoding and enabling conversions to happen in the background at scheduled times. If we go back, we can look at all those individual files and folders, and we'll play a video file towards the end of this video. But we can already have a look at history of different files and folders we've accessed, created playlists. If you want to send media to a third-party supported player, you're able to do it from here, such as something over DLNA, a smart TV, or a digital media receiver, or one of those cheap little Android boxes that you get on Amazon. And Media Explorer just lets you explore the files and folders on your NAS on a file folder level, which I know a number of you will really enjoy. So from here we can go into Home and then Access, such as here, 720p, those are media files there. These may be a bit heavy going, but if we go for a 1080p media file, we'll try and play one of these right now. Now these are still quite dense 1080p files, and from here we've got lots of options where we can change the resolution for transcoding and alter it to play back in a different size, which will use system resources in order to do it. And you can add to Media Converter to have that done in the background at a later date to convert that file into something a bit more playable. We can exit there. It still doesn't seem quite as intuitive as one would like, but it's nice to know those options are there. And I would say this is still probably one of the better NAS video applications out there after Synology and QNAP's video offerings, which are still, for me, some of the best you can get right now. Now, let's go back to those video files. Let's go to the home movies. And from here, these are those retro footages along with screen recordings from previous videos. So let's go for something a little bit easygoing. Let's go for this video recording here. Now, right now the system is creating thumbnails for everything. It's not going to be the quickest. You can add, by the way, information manually if you so choose here. And if we click the play option, it will say what device do we want to play on, the location of the file, and the resolution and how we want to change it. So we're going to play this file normal size. And one thing I will highlight that I think we're going to see any second now is the ability that you can't right now play a number of video files within the Asustor app device. I know, looking at the reviews on the App Center, that there's issues regarding codecs, but if you've got something like VLC or even Google's own media player, you will be able to play these files quite easily on your localized device. But the bigger the file, obviously there'll be a slight delay, as you see here. But this is some screen recording software I did a little while ago. It's only a 2-minute footage video, and don't worry about the visual effect there on screen. That's to be expected with OBS. Remove that. We'll go back there and make our way back towards other options on this. Now, say you wanted someone to be able to download this file. Well, from here, we can have a look at media information about the file, and it gives us real-time information about what we're looking at. If we carry on further, we can add it to an existing playlist and create a playlist for these items. Click Favorite so it appears on the Favorites list, and create a share link so someone on a local area network or the internet can download this file, as well as creating time constraints to make sure that they can only access this file for a certain length of time. Finally, we can download this file locally if we so choose, and now this file has been added in the background, where it's going to start downloading this file for me while everything else is going on. So we go to our download directory and we can see that this file is now being downloaded. Coming out from there, we can try and play another big media file and make our way in, have a little peek. From here, we're going to play another media file, but this time we're going to go big. Let's go for some of those 4K files just to see what happens. So from here, we'll go to the bottom. We'll go for water droplet. Now, water droplet, oh, that's 720p. We don't want 720p. We want something murderously difficult. Let's have a look. This is a 4K UHD file. Let's play this file. Let's have a look. It's going to take a few seconds there. Now, what we'll do is two things. We're going to play this file in its original version, and then we're going to downgrade this file and use transcoding to reshape this file within the app. Now, I am using screen recording software on my phone, so I won't be hugely surprised if we encounter difficulties. Clicking play will tell us more about this file, but also give us the ability to see if this big old 4K file is going to play. So in the moment, we've got some stuff happening here in the background, and apparently we have a connection timeout, which might be to do with the size of this file. It's going to have another go at it, but for now, let's play the file in its original form, and afterwards, we'll try and test some of that sweet transcoding. So this is a 4K media file. Have a look there. We're still on the no internet network. We're going to use the just general Google photo viewer to play this file. And remember, this is a 4K file over the local area network. Chances are right now you might see interference while the video is playing because of the screen recording software that I'm using. But right now all I'm looking at is a loading circle and little else. And this is one of the main reasons for transcoding, because if you did want to watch a 4K, if you own a movie or a TV show in 4K, enjoying it on a mobile is borderline ridiculous. So what if we wanted to watch a much smaller version of this file? This is down to 240p. And now we're resizing this, and the CPU and the memory in the background of this NAS are supposed to reshape this file in a way far more befitting for our local machine, as you can see here. So it's going to play forward, and then we're going to see how well this handles this element of transcoding. While it does that, I do think it's only fair that I highlight this is an incredibly dense file. This is one of the biggest 4K files for a mobile test I think I should really perform, and it's not really fair on the app to go for something so heavy hitting so early on. And I think right now we are seeing that it just does not want to play the game within this app. So in the interest of fairness, let's go for a standard HD file. Let's go for that water droplet that we talked about earlier on. That's a 720p file. Let's see if we can play this file with transcoding enabled in the spirit of fairness. Let that carry on. It'll ask me what I want to play it with. And remember, you can choose other devices to play files if you so choose. And now we've got that file playing. Now, I'm sure you're seeing interference on screen. I know I can feel my phone getting quite hot, so I imagine the GPU is not playing very well with this. But it did play and transcode that 720p file down to 240 quite easily. So let's see how that looks compared with the original playback of this file. Again, I can only imagine what you're seeing thanks to the screen recording software. Let's get that pop up. No doubt that transcoding from earlier is still taking place, because it's on the list of encoding options. We're getting there eventually. Come on, Asustor, you're making a fool of me and you. This is not going well. I'm going to count to 5 and then I'm going to skip forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's try another file. Just once again, in the spirit of fairness, let's go for a nice, straightforward media file. Go for the TV shows. And I've got some different episodes of TV here. Let's go for a classic, Mr. Bean. It's the one that I seem to use in all my videos. And we're going to play this media file. And we can't play the file. Why on earth is that? Maybe it's in support of that particular codec. Who knows? But right now, we're not seeing that play option. And this, I think, does hark back to the issue we spoke of earlier on about codecs. And the fact that Asustor have volunteered that they don't support all codecs at the moment. And apparently it's not as straightforward just to turn them on. So let's play now. This is the World's End. This is, I believe, a 1080p video file we've done in previous tests. And we're going to play that. Hopefully we're going to see the same blue intros that we saw in previous videos. But at the moment, I don't know what you guys at home are seeing, but I'm still seeing the grey loading circle to play this file live. not the highest success rate today, gotta say. Little underwhelmed. And Asustor, your mobile apps do need a little bit of work there, and if you are watching this, as I'm sure you are, do let me know. But for now, I think I'm going to exit out of this test and have a look at what else this app has got, because right now it's got so much promise, this app, so much going on. A number of you have watched this wondering what the hell the skeleton is up there. This is a health video from 1953. Let's play this file. Play this. Is it going to play the health video from 1953 without difficulty? Because I can only imagine one of the earliest bits of transcoding I've done earlier on has clogged up the device, and my continued efforts to play media files probably haven't helped. But I've done this in a number of other... Here we go. We've got the video playing. Hopefully you can see that on screen. Fast forward. And the options are still readily available to us, and the video file is playing quite well. And again, that was the original media file, but again, that's not exactly a taxing video in terms of resolution. But I think I'm going to wrap things up here. There are loads of options there with regards to downloading files, sharing files, going through the history of files you've created there in the background. But this has been the AiVideo application from Asustor. In the background here, we can look at the log and the queue, how many of the things that we've done have appeared. Nothing there, surprisingly. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. We will be looking at one of the final Asustor applications that I think you guys should care about in the next video. And that one is called AI Master. Now, this is the one app that really impressed me, and I can't wait to tell you guys about it. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe if you're thinking to buy an NAS in the near future and want to learn more about these devices. If you've enjoyed it, let me know below. Like a comment, done a tick, do a thumb, all the stuff you need to do in this social media age. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Doodle pip.